On April 22, 2025, terror struck the serene valley of Pahalgam in Indian-administered Kashmir. Gunmen opened fire on a group of Hindu pilgrims, killing 26 and injuring many more. India was quick to blame Pakistan for the attack, calling it a case of cross-border terrorism. Pakistan vehemently denied any involvement, instead pointing fingers at India for orchestrating a false flag operation. India responded with a series of swift and strong measures. The Wagah-Atari border crossing was closed, effectively sealing the land route between the two countries. India also suspended its participation in the Indus Water Treaty, a vital agreement governing water distribution between the two nations. Further escalating the situation, India downgraded diplomatic ties, recalled its High Commissioner from Pakistan, and expelled Pakistani diplomats from India. The Pahalgam attack sent shockwaves through the already fragile economic relationship between India and Pakistan. Both countries announced a complete suspension of bilateral trade. While official trade between the two countries stands at a relatively modest $500 million, unofficial estimates suggest a much larger trade volume, exceeding $10 billion annually. This trade flows through third-country routes, primarily via Dubai, Colombo, and Singapore. Pakistan's pharmaceutical industry, heavily reliant on Indian imports of raw materials and medicines, is expected to be particularly hard hit by the trade suspension. The impact on Pakistan's already struggling economy could be significant. The current trade freeze marks another chapter in the turbulent economic history between the two nations. Past conflicts, including the wars of 1965 and 1971, as well as the 2019 Pulwama attack, have all resulted in trade disruptions. The Pahalgam attack and the ensuing escalation have raised serious concerns among regional experts and international observers. Walter Ladwig, a senior fellow at the Royal United Services Institute, highlights the inherent dangers of military strikes between nuclear-armed states like India and Pakistan, emphasizing the risk of miscalculation and unintended escalation. Hussein Haqqani, a former Pakistani ambassador to the United States, suggests that while the current tensions are palpable, the likelihood of an all-out war remains low due to the lack of international appetite for such a conflict. Srinath Raghavan, a professor of international relations at King's College London, predicts a strong Indian response, potentially involving cross-border strikes or airstrikes, with a high possibility of Pakistani retaliation. The Pahalgam attack and the subsequent escalation are the latest chapters in the long and bloody conflict over Kashmir. The region has been a point of contention between India and Pakistan since the partition of British India in 1947. Two of the three major wars fought between India and Pakistan have been over Kashmir. The region is divided by a heavily militarized line of control, with India controlling the southern and eastern portions, Jammu and Kashmir, and Pakistan administering the northwestern part, Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. The conflict has claimed tens of thousands of lives, fueling a cycle of violence and mistrust. The presence of separatist groups in Indian-administered Kashmir, some allegedly backed by Pakistan, has further complicated the situation. The international community has called for restraint and de-escalation, urging both India and Pakistan to engage in dialogue to find a peaceful resolution to the crisis. However, given the long history of animosity and mistrust, finding common ground remains a formidable challenge. As the situation continues to unfold, the fate of Kashmir hangs precariously in the balance.